Okay, we're going to spiral. You can texture too, but with the amount of time that we have at each station, I'll show you the spiraling, and then some other time I'll show you the texturing. I would need a chuck to texture. There are a couple of rules about this tool. They come in two different sizes. Whoops.
That's not it.
A large one and a small one. The large one is a pretty expensive tool. This one is reasonably priced. You can do everything with the small one that you can do with the big one. The only difference that you're seeing on this tool is that I have removed the foot on this tool. Other than that, it's the exact same tool. The advantage over the big one is you can go deeper, you can make your spirals deeper, and you have a wider variety of cutter wheels available to you. This one you have 3 wheels, this one you have a half a dozen wheels. Okay? But everything can be done on the big one as can be done on the small one. I'm going to show you the small one. There are a couple of rules about the tool. First of all, this is like a YouTube. You buy this tool and think, gee, I saw Ray do this, I can do it. Wrong. There's a learning curve to this. So you got to practice. 2, it's only designed for a straight cut. You can't change diameters. So you can't do the outside of a bowl, can't do the inside of a bowl, you can't do the concave, because if you change diameters, you will change the speed at which the cutter rotates, and it will crosshatch. So it's only a straight cut. So it's slow, it's a straight cut. 3, yes?
When you say straight cut, while you're applying it to the wood, you have to stay on a fixed diameter. But like you could do it on...
You can do different diameters, but just... Yes, yes, yes. If you remember one thing about this tool, remember the numbers 5,500. 50 millimeters, or 2 inches, 500 RPMs. It's easier to remember 5,500 than it is 2,500. So if you've got something 2 inches in diameter, your speed is 500 when you're using this tool. The bigger the diameter, the smaller the speed. So you're going under 500 and vice versa. So it's a slow tool, a slow cut, and you want a very slow speed. Yes?
Does that change for using the large?
No.
So it's the same thing?
Same thing. Okay. 5,500. So the first thing I'm going to do in using this tool is put it back where it should be. I can rotate this tool. See, I can take this and leaving the rest fixed, I can move this tool, I can reorient it. And I've got some notches on the back of this rest that I'm going to use as a guide, and I'm going to set it to that notch there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, and I'm going to go straight in, and all I wanted to do is make marks where every point of the wheel is. And it's very slow, so I'm just going to go in here and get the wheel spinning, and I'm not changing a straight, the tool is straight, and I am moving it very slowly to my right, your left, and all I have done is made marks on my wood. Can you see the marks? Okay, that's the orientation for the future cuts for the wheel. I have to make sure that the wheel points are oriented with the cuts that it previously made, otherwise this isn't going to work. So the first thing I'm going to do is the tool is straight on the tool rest, I'm going to go in and I'm going to get the wheel spinning so it's now oriented with the prior cuts. Now I'm going to lower my tool just a little bit, pull the handle toward me, and then pull it at an angle, straight angle. Okay, looks just like this. Down a little bit, pull the handle toward me. Now I'm very slowly going across the same cut I made before. Pick it up, straight in, get it turning again, lower my tool, pull the handle toward me a little bit, and make another cut. And the more I do this, you can begin to see wisps falling below the wood. That's the cutter cutting. The actual cut is taking place where the bevel meets the straight edge. That point is where it's cutting. So you can see that it's now getting deeper. And the more I do this, the deeper it gets. Okay? Looks like I cross-hatched a little bit of it. So let's see if we can't clean that up just a little bit. So again, question.
So you progressive cuts to get it deeper, so it's picking up the grooves.
Say again?
How are you picking up the grooves? Because it looks like it's just cutting through the grooves deeper and deeper.
That's all it's doing.
So it's picking up the grooves. The slots are picking up the...
I may be pulling it too fast.
No, you're not. I mean, you're doing good.
I think the question is, after you've done the first cut, when you go in the second time, is it the fact that you're going in slowly, it kind of refines, it self-registers?
It self-registers,
Okay.
yes,
Right.
and
So
it just
it's
cuts
reminding
deeper.
itself of what's already there.
Right,
Got it.
right. And because it's cutting on the tip only, it's cutting each spiral a little bit deeper. So let's do one more time. Okay. I can change the distance between the spirals by taking the tool and turning it toward me and tightening it, or swinging it down low. Just rotate the tool down low and make the spirals wider apart, okay? So if I take this now and I make it just the opposite, I'm going to take this and I'm going to turn it to the other notch on the other side. So I've turned it from one angle to the opposite angle, okay? Now I'm going to make a new spiral, but I'm going to make it over the old one, and I'm going to cross-hatch this just like you do with a gun stock. But because I'm making a new spiral, I have to start in a new spot. I can't just start where I was doing it before, because it's going to get confused. I've got to give it its own orientation for the new spiral. Does that make sense? So I'm going to start out here, straight in. All I want to do is make marks across where I had done it before to give it a new orientation. I want a new beginning spot and a new ending spot. So now you can see what it's going to do. It's going to start to cross-hatch it, like the gun stock. So now that I've made the orientation, I'm going to take my tool straight in and get it oriented. Now I'm going to tip my tool down a little bit, pull the handle toward me just a little bit, and I'm going to just let's do that again. I'm going to very slowly come across. And let's do it one more time. Again, straight in, get it spinning, getting it oriented, lower my tool just a little bit, pull the handle toward me, and make one more cut. Now I've cross-hatched it. What I'll do now is take a piece of 400 grit sandpaper and just very lightly sand it. By the way, I should have said, before I started my spiraling, I sanded my wood to 150, because once you spiral, you can't. So if you got tool marks, your tool marks are going to be in the spirals unless you get rid of them before you start. But very lightly get rid of any debris. Now I can take my parting tool to give you an idea, bring up my speed a little bit, and let's just do both sides of it. Now I would take away some extra wood, and I've now defined my spiral. And if I want to make it softer, all I have to do is take my spindle gouge and just kind of taper it off a little bit on both sides. Just as if the spirals weren't even there.
You're kind of rolling the bead on there.
Yep. Now I've got it all very soft.
Basically, the party tools
Got rid of some material, right.
Were just the secondary pattern.
Right. Now I can make this, I can leave this there and make it thinner as long as it's straight, and I can spiral again. And I can make it a different kind of spiral if I orient my tool differently than what it was when I made this one. Or if I want to, I can take this and actually get my tool rest up there where it should be. I can make some, let's just make some coves. I'm completely changing how my piece is going to look. Now the spiral is even more pronounced. So I can leave it spiraled like this, or I can make a tight spiral. This was made with the big tool, this was made with the small tool. But if you do it in the lip of your bowl, it gives you kind of a variegated edge to your bowl. If I made a foot to my bowl, I could have done it down here as well. You can't do the bottom because you're changing the diameter and changing the speed cutter, the cutter of the speed of the cutter, and it's going to crosshatch and tear it all the way across. So it only can be one straight cut, same diameter.
So I'm thinking of a different tool that I use to do the bottoms.
Okay.
You do the spiral tool, but if you do it differently.
Yeah, now I could take the big one. Let's see if we can do this. Same tool.
Same tool, I did cross that.
Yeah, if I had a chuck, I could show you how to do that. But if I take this, let's just play for a minute. Now I'm going to take my tool and I'm going to start with it vertical. And as I pull it, I'm going to rotate it. Okay, it's going to rotate it. I don't have to orient it because it's going to kind of orient itself. That's not going to show you. I need my. I need a chuck to be able to show you how this works. But this one, you can texture with the tool at the same time you spiral with the tool, just by taking the foot off and giving you room to move your tool and change the diameter, and you're going to actually turn a swirling texture on it.
Yeah, on the side facing us, I mean, it seems like the texture is visible there.
Yeah, you could barely see it.
It's spinning in the spur drive.
Yep. Yep. But the spiraling, the small spiraling tool, lets you do bowls. You can do the center of a hollow Christmas ornament. You can do anything that, as long as you've got the same diameter and you're making a straight cut, you can either cross-hatch it or you can spiral it. Any questions on the tool?
You said you put marks on it. Are your marks on the bracket or are they on the rod?
I will pass the tool around. You'll notice that it has,
Okay, on the. So it's like you have a center and then two side angles.
the other one, which I did not bring,
Referencing like the center of
have numbers on it. I'll send this around too. You see, you can spiral to the left, you can spiral to the right, you can cross-hatch, you can open it up, you can have all sorts of fun with this tool, and it just changes the overall image of your piece when you're done. Any questions? Wish I had a chuck.
Big edge. Did you have to do it a bunch of times to get it that pronounced on the edge of that roll you did? Is that, no, that one over there. Is that a lot of?
I went several times. Yep.
Several times.
Yep.
It's a big tool. Okay.
I should talk about sharpening this tool, and I'll show you with the big one. On the tool, there is a bevel, and the bevel goes down to the face of the tool. And it's where the face of the tool and the bevel meet. That point is the cutting edge. That's where it's cutting. You don't ever take these tools to the grinder. You'll ruin them. All you do is take a hand sharpener, like a little diamond stone, and follow the bevel and very carefully do two cutters at a time, and just it takes you about 10 minutes to go around and clean up the edge to make sure that you've got a sharp edge between the bevel and the face of the cutter. Maybe every 8 to 10 spirals you should dress it up. Never go too long where it goes round. And when you're sharpening, don't do this. Don't go over the edge. Always keep your hand locked and do a straight line. And all you want to do is make sure that it does not roll over the tips of all the different points. That dulls your tool.
Is just one side the cutting face?
Just the bevel. That's all you do.
But I mean, is there a bevel on the
No.
other side? So it's,
No,
it's
one side.
oriented one way.
Yep, one side. And if I send this around, that'll show you what the sharpening looks like.
So all of these were done with the same wheel?
All these were done, that was done with the big one. All those were done with the small one.
Is that like a fine? What's blue? What's blue? I forget.
This medium. I guess I'm done. Any questions? So it's one of those things that it looks easy, but if you pull too fast and crosshatch it, all you do is put a piece of wood on your lathe, and if you mess it up, take your roughing gouge and go across, sand it quickly with 150 and try it again. And with that one piece of wood, you can master the tool.